The sky over Earth suddenly changed one morning. People everywhere looked up and saw shapes that made them stop breathing. Massive ships floated above cities, larger than anything humanity had ever built. They shimmered with strange lights and moved with perfect precision. No one knew where they had come from. Scientists scrambled to analyze them. Governments held emergency meetings, and ordinary people whispered in fear. The media called the occupants of these ships gods. Their power seemed limitless, and their presence made the world feel small and fragile. Commander Rian stood on the bridge of the warship Aurora, his hands gripping the edge of the console. The view from orbit was terrifying and magnificent. The alien ships glowed with energy that pulsed like living things. They did not speak, but their actions were deliberate. Satellites disappeared under strange beams of light, and military defenses fizzled as if they had never existed. Rian's crew worked silently, studying every movement. "They are powerful," Lieutenant Mara said quietly, her eyes fixed on the main screen. "But I do not believe they are invincible." Rian nodded. He had seen too many simulations, too many exercises, and he trusted his crew. Humans could be clever. Humans could adapt. And if these so-called gods had rules, those rules could be understood. The alien ship sent a message. It was simple but frightening. Submit or be erased. Most of the world panicked. Some leaders considered surrendering immediately. But Rian knew that surrender meant the end of everything humanity had fought for. The Aurora had a mission. They would protect Earth, no matter the odds. As the days passed, the aliens demonstrated their strength. A flash of energy wiped out a mountain range in a remote area, leaving no trace of life. Communication satellites fell from the sky. The gods moved with confidence as if nothing could touch them. Yet Rian noticed something subtle. The energy beams pulsed in patterns. The shields around the alien ships blinked for a moment before regenerating. There was a rhythm to their power, and rhythms could be studied. On board the Aurora, the crew prepared. Scientists worked to understand alien technology. Engineers designed weapons that could exploit even the smallest weakness. Pilots practiced maneuvers in zero-gravity simulations. Every person understood the stakes. Humanity was facing a force that seemed unstoppable, but humans had something no alien technology could replace: creativity and courage. Rian walked through the corridors, passing teams of soldiers and technicians. Each face was determined, though fear lingered behind their eyes. He paused in front of a holographic map of the alien ships. Lines and symbols moved constantly, showing their positions and energy levels. "They are not perfect," he said to himself. "Nothing in the universe is perfect." The first direct encounter came when a scouting drone reported movement near one of the alien vessels. A small team of humans was sent to investigate. As they approached, the alien patrol activated its weapons. Pulses of energy swept across space, and for a moment, it seemed the humans were finished before they began. Rian remembered the patterns he had noticed. He shouted orders, and the team adjusted their path just in time. The pulses hit empty space, missing their target. Humanity's team retreated, but they returned with data. They had learned something crucial. The aliens followed predictable rules. They were powerful, but they were not all-knowing. Back on the Aurora, the crew studied the information carefully. Scientists pored over the readings. Every detail could be important. Rian gathered his senior officers. "We cannot fight them head-on, but we can outthink them. Every pattern, every cycle is an opportunity. Humanity will survive if we use our minds and our courage." News of the alien arrival spread around the world. Cities were tense, markets were unstable, and people waited for guidance. Yet in the shadows of fear, a sense of determination grew. Humans had survived countless challenges. They had faced natural disasters, conflicts, and the unknown. This was different, but it was another test dawn at night. Rian stood alone on the observation deck of the Aurora. The stars were bright, but the alien ships loomed larger than life. He did not feel hopeless. He felt a challenge, one that humanity could meet if they worked together. He thought of the crew, the people on Earth, and the potential that humans have when pushed to their limits. They may call themselves gods, he whispered, but gods can be understood. Gods can be challenged, and we will not bow. The first part of the story ends with the world holding its breath. Humanity faced an enemy that seemed unbeatable, but hope remained. Commander Rian and his crew had discovered that power alone did not guarantee victory. Intelligence, courage, and unity might be the tools that would allow humans to survive the coming storm. The first encounter with the alien patrol had shown Commander Rian one important truth. The so-called gods were powerful, but not perfect. The next step was to learn more about them. Rian called a meeting with his senior officers and scientists on the Aurora. They gathered around the glowing table, maps and schematics projected into the air. Lieutenant Mara pointed to the energy readings from the scouting mission. "Look here," she said. "The pulses from their weapons are not constant. They recharge in cycles. If we time it right, we can move between the pulses without being hit." Rian nodded. "Good observation. We need more than observation, though. We need to understand their patterns in detail. Send drones to each vessel and gather as much data as possible. Every second counts." The crew worked tirelessly. Scientists analyzed the energy signatures, and engineers adjusted their weapons and defenses based on the new information. Pilots trained in zero gravity, learning to navigate between beams of energy and around alien ships. Humanity was small compared to the massive alien fleet, but humans were fast learners, and every member of the Aurora crew knew their skills could save lives. Rian stood on the bridge one day, watching the aliens move with calculated precision. They destroyed a mining facility on a remote moon, leaving it in ruins without hesitation. Civilians on the moon had been evacuated, but the display of power was meant to send a clear message: do not resist. Still, Rian did not feel fear. He had seen the slight delays between their energy pulses, the brief flicker of shields before they regenerated. "They are not gods," he told Mara. "They are soldiers who rely on technology. We rely on our minds, our courage, and our will to survive." A few days later, the humans launched their first small operation to test their findings. Using stealth drones, they approached one of the smaller alien ships. The drones moved quietly, following patterns learned from hours of observation. Suddenly, a pulse of energy shot out from the alien ship. The drones dodged and recorded the blast, capturing data on its timing and intensity. The operation was a success. Humanity had survived, and the aliens had not even noticed the intrusion. Back on the Aurora, the crew celebrated quietly. Every piece of information was valuable. The aliens were strong, but humans were clever. Rian reminded his team that they had to remain calm and disciplined. Panic would only lead to mistakes. Every movement had to be calculated, every decision carefully made. Rian's mind often drifted to the civilians on Earth. He knew that the people below looked up at the sky with fear and awe. The world waited for leadership and hope. "We must show them that humans can survive," he said during a briefing. "Even against something that seems impossible, we can find a way." One night, the Aurora received an unexpected message. It was not from the aliens, but from a coalition of nations on Earth. They suggested combining intelligence and sharing resources to fight the alien threat. Rian welcomed the idea. Humans had always been stronger when united. The Warship could not protect the world alone, but it could lead the way. The first direct clash came sooner than expected. One of the alien patrols attacked a human research station orbiting a distant planet. The station's defenses were strong, but not enough. The aliens fired energy pulses with incredible speed and force. Scientists and engineers watched the battle unfold from the Aurora, analyzing the attack patterns. Rian gave orders with precision. Divert energy to shields, deploy countermeasures, and keep the station intact. Timing is everything. The crew moved as one. They predicted the pulses, dodged the attacks, and adjusted their shields just in time. The station survived, though barely, and the humans learned more about how the aliens fought. After the battle, Rian called his officers together. They are not invincible. They follow patterns, and patterns can be broken. Humanity can fight back if we are smart and brave. He looked at each member of his crew. This is only the beginning. The universe is testing us, but we are not powerless. We adapt, we learn, and we survive. On Earth, news of the station's survival inspired hope. People who had been terrified now felt a spark of courage. Posters, broadcasts, and messages reminded humans that they had faced challenges before and overcome them. The aliens had power, but humans had determination, intelligence, and the ability to work together. Rian stood alone on the observation deck again, looking at the alien fleet. They moved with precision and strength, but they had a rhythm, a pattern that could be understood. They may appear as gods, he said quietly, but they are not untouchable. Humanity is not weak. We will find a way to protect our world, and we will show them that humans are not afraid. The first clashes had been tests, and humanity had passed them. The crew of the Aurora knew that the battles ahead would be even harder, but for the first time, they understood one crucial truth. Knowledge and courage could level the playing field, even against enemies that seemed unbeatable. The story ended. For now, with Earth holding its breath, but hope had returned. Humans were small compared to the alien fleet, but they were clever, brave, and united. The war had begun, and humanity was ready to fight. Humanity had learned a crucial lesson. The aliens were strong, but they were not perfect. Commander Rian and his crew on the Aurora prepared to turn knowledge into action. The next step was to strike back, even in a small way, to show that humans could fight. Engineers and scientists worked day and night, studying the data from previous encounters. They discovered that the alien ships relied on a complex energy network linking all their vessels. If this network could be disrupted, the ships would lose coordination and become vulnerable. Rian understood that the mission would be dangerous, but it was necessary. Humanity could not survive by hiding or retreating. Rian called his senior officers to the bridge. "We cannot destroy their fleet entirely," he said, "but we can strike at their network. We can disrupt their control and create an opportunity. Every victory, no matter how small, is proof that humans are not powerless." Lieutenant Morris studied the holographic map. "We will need precision. The energy network runs through the largest vessels. If we can target the nodes without getting destroyed, we can weaken them significantly." Rian nodded. "We will train, we will plan, and we will execute. Humanity relies on courage and intelligence, and both will guide us." The crew of the Aurora began preparation. Pilots practiced advanced maneuvers. Engineers built specialized weapons based on captured alien technology, and scientists refined the targeting systems. Every team understood the risks. Failure could mean destruction, but success could shift the balance in humanity's favor. The first strike mission was small. A group of pilots would approach the alien formation using stealth routes, avoiding energy pulses and patrols. Meanwhile, a team aboard the Aurora would monitor and support them, guiding them through weak points in the alien network. As the mission began, tension filled the bridge. The pilots maneuvered with skill, slipping through narrow gaps between energy pulses. The aliens fired at empty space, unable to predict human creativity and timing. Every successful maneuver built confidence. Humanity was not moving blindly. They were calculating, learning, and adapting. The strike team reached the targeted node. Explosions lit up the dark space as human weapons hit precise points in the alien energy network. Immediately, ships in the nearby formation faltered. Shields flickered and weapons misfired. The aliens had not expected a direct attack, and the humans' boldness had caught them off guard. Back on the Aurora, the crew cheered silently. Humanity had achieved a small victory, but it was a victory that proved something larger. Even against beings that appeared godlike, humans could fight with intelligence and courage. The aliens reacted quickly, moving to repair the damaged network. Their response was precise, but it revealed one more truth. The so-called gods could be pressured and forced to respond. They were powerful, but they were not omnipotent. Each action they took could be anticipated and countered with careful planning. Rian looked at the stars and considered the future. "This is only the beginning," he said to Mara. "We have shown them that humans are not helpless. We will use every tool, every idea, every ounce of courage to protect our world." On Earth, news of the successful strike spread quickly. Fear turned into cautious hope. People saw that humans could act, could fight, and could survive. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers were celebrated. The world felt that unity and determination mattered more than raw power. The alien ships regrouped, stronger and more cautious. They had underestimated humanity. Now, they moved in patterns that revealed fear, not because they lacked strength, but because humans had proven unpredictable. The so-called gods had learned that intelligence and creativity were weapons humans wielded naturally. The Aurora prepared for the next mission. This time, the goal was more ambitious: a direct engagement with one of the smaller alien vessels, to study its interior and understand its technology. Rian knew it was risky, but humanity needed knowledge as much as it needed courage. Pilots, engineers, and scientists worked together to plan every detail. The alien patterns had been analyzed, the energy cycles calculated, and escape routes mapped. The humans were ready to act as one. When the mission began, the tension was palpable. Pilots slipped through patrols, using every trick learned in simulations. Engineers monitored the energy pulses and adjusted shields in real time. The human team moved like a single organism, each person aware of the stakes. The team reached the alien vessel without being detected. As they gathered data and prepared to return, they realized the potential of human ingenuity. The alien ships were impressive, but their technology followed logic. Logic could be studied, analyzed, and used against them. Humanity had discovered the first true advantage against the gods: strategy and intelligence. Back on the Aurora, the team celebrated quietly. The humans had survived, gathered valuable information, and proved that courage combined with cleverness could overcome raw power. Commander Rian knew the next battles would be even harder, but hope had taken root. Humans were learning, adapting, and preparing to face a force that had once seemed impossible to challenge. Humanity had taken its first step from fear to action. The war had begun, but now humans had discovered something the aliens could not understand. The human mind was unpredictable, flexible, and determined. Against that, even gods could struggle. After the small victories in space, Commander Rian realized that knowledge was as important as courage. The aliens were strong, but their technology had weaknesses that could be studied and exploited. Rian called a meeting with his senior officers to discuss a risky mission: boarding a damaged alien vessel to learn more about their secrets. Lieutenant Mara examined the mission plans. "The ship is heavily damaged," she said. "But if we can enter, we can gather information about their energy systems, weapons, and defenses. This could change everything." Rian nodded. "It is dangerous, but the information could save." millions of lives. Humans survive when they act with intelligence and careful planning. That is what we must do. A small team was selected for the operation. Pilots, engineers, and scientists would work together to infiltrate the alien ship. Stealth was crucial. Any misstep could alert the larger fleet and lead to disaster. The Aurora approached the damaged vessel cautiously. Sensors monitored alien patrols, energy readings, and potential traps. The crew's hands moved quickly over controls, adjusting shields and scanning for threats. Rian gave calm, clear instructions. We are observers. We take what we can, and we leave without being seen. Focus on the data, and trust your training. As the boarding team entered the ship, the interior was dark and quiet. The walls pulsed with energy, and strange symbols glowed faintly on panels. The team moved carefully, avoiding damaged sections and unstable energy conduits. Every step was measured, every breath controlled. They reached the central control room, where energy flows converged in complex nodes. Engineers quickly began recording readings, analyzing the patterns, and taking samples of alien materials. The room hummed with power, but the team remained focused. Every observation was valuable. One of the scientists, Toma, pointed to a console, displaying intricate diagrams. "Look at this," he said. "Their energy flows connect multiple vessels. If we disrupt these nodes, even temporarily, we can weaken their entire formation." Rian studied the readings. "This confirms what we suspected. Their strength is impressive, but it is also structured. Logic and patterns guide their actions. Humanity can learn these rules and use them to our advantage." The team continued to explore, uncovering more information about alien weapons and shields. They discovered that the aliens' energy beams required recharge cycles and that their shields, while strong, could fail if overloaded. Every detail added to humanity's growing advantage. As they worked, alarms suddenly rang. A patrol drone had detected their presence. Rian's team remained calm. "Split into safe zones and focus on escape routes," Rian ordered. The team moved quickly, using the knowledge of the ship's layout to avoid detection. The escape was tense. Energy beams from the aliens swept past, missing by inches. Pilots guided the team through narrow passages. Engineers recalibrated shields, and scientists secured all collected data. The human crew moved as one, every person relying on skill, intelligence, and courage. Finally, the boarding team returned to the Aurora. Relief washed over the crew as the airlock sealed. The data was analyzed immediately, revealing patterns and weaknesses that had never been seen before. Humanity now had a clear path to challenge the alien fleet. Rian gathered his officers in the strategy room. "We know more about them than they know about us," he said. "They appear godlike because of their technology, but their strength is structured. It can be studied, predicted, and countered. We are not powerless." Lieutenant Mara added, "We have discovered their limitations. Their shields regenerate, but only after short delays. Their weapons overheat if fired too rapidly. We can use this information in upcoming battles. Every strategy, every plan is now stronger because we understand them." Rian looked at the holographic map of the alien fleet. The nodes and patterns of energy flowed across space like a network of light. Humanity had the opportunity to exploit it, to show the universe that humans could survive and fight even the most powerful enemies. On Earth, news of the successful mission lifted spirits. Citizens and leaders alike realized that humanity was not defenseless. The aliens may have called themselves gods, but humans had something far stronger: intelligence, courage, and unity. Rian spent time on the observation deck that night, gazing at the alien fleet. They were impressive, but he now understood their weaknesses. He thought of the crew, the scientists, and the pilots. Each person had contributed to this success. Humans were small compared to the alien ships, but they were creative, adaptable, and brave. They believed themselves invincible, Rian whispered, but they are not. They follow rules, and rules can be broken. Humanity will survive. Humanity will fight. And humanity will show that even gods are not untouchable. The story of Part 4 ended with hope and determination. Humanity had taken the first real step, from observation to action. They had discovered the secrets of the alien technology, and now they were ready to plan the next stage of the fight. Commander Rian knew the path ahead would be dangerous, but he was confident in his crew and the strength of the human spirit. The war had begun, and humanity was learning to face it with courage and wisdom. Humanity had learned the secrets of the alien ships, and Commander Rian knew it was time to act. The aliens were strong, but their power was not limitless. If humans used intelligence and strategy, they could challenge even the most advanced. Technology in the galaxy. The war escalated as Earth prepared for its first full-scale engagement. Nations united to provide resources. Engineers worked on new weapons, and pilots trained for daring maneuvers. The Aurora led the mission, carrying the hope and courage of humanity across space. Rian gathered his officers in the strategy room. Holographic maps displayed the alien fleet and the patterns of their energy networks. "We will not fight blindly," Rian said. "We will use the weaknesses we discovered. Timing, strategy, and courage will be our weapons." Lieutenant Mara nodded. "We can disrupt their energy nodes and force their ships into confusion. If we coordinate properly, we can achieve something no one thought possible." The human fleet approached the alien formation cautiously. Drones moved ahead, mapping enemy positions and energy flows. The aliens fired pulses of energy in a predictable rhythm, but the humans had studied these patterns. They moved with precision, dodging attacks and targeting weak points. The first clash was tense. Alien ships fired powerful beams, destroying a distant asteroid as a warning. Human shields absorbed some of the energy, while pilots maneuvered with skill to avoid the worst of the blasts. Engineers adjusted weapon power and shields in real time, keeping the fleet operational. Rian gave orders calmly. "Focus on the energy nodes. Disrupt them, but protect our own ships. Every second counts. Humanity survives when we act together." The plan worked. Human weapons struck the nodes at the right moment, causing the alien formation to falter. Ships lost coordination. Shields flickered, and some weapons misfired. The humans had not destroyed the fleet, but they had proven that strategy and teamwork could challenge the so-called gods. Back on the Aurora, the crew cheered quietly. Each successful strike built confidence. Humans were learning, adapting, and proving that courage and intelligence could stand against even the most advanced technology. The aliens responded quickly, sending reinforcements to repair damaged nodes. Rian anticipated this and ordered the human fleet to split into smaller groups. These groups used decoys and unexpected maneuvers to confuse the enemy. The aliens had never faced an opponent that moved with such creativity and precision. One squadron, led by Lieutenant Mara, managed to disable a small alien ship completely by overloading its energy circuits. Another group captured data from a damaged vessel, learning more about alien weapons and shields. Every success was small but significant, showing that humans could survive and fight back. As the battle continued, Rian noticed something important. The aliens' response revealed fear. They had underestimated humans. They were powerful, but unpredictable tactics and careful strategy forced them to react. Humanity's creativity had become a weapon stronger than raw power. After hours of tense engagement, the battle ended with both sides withdrawing. Human losses were heavy, but the morale boost was immense. Humanity had survived its first real war against the alien fleet. And the lesson was clear. Intelligence, courage, and teamwork could overcome even the greatest challenges. Rian gathered his officers. "This battle shows what humans can do," he said. "We have proven that we are not helpless. Every victory, every lesson, brings us closer to protecting our world. The aliens may call themselves gods, but they are not invincible." On Earth, news of the battle spread quickly. Citizens celebrated the survival of the fleet, and scientists and engineers were recognized as heroes. Humanity realized that courage, unity, and creativity were more important than fear. The aliens' technology was impressive, but humans had something they could not replicate: the ability to think, adapt, and act boldly. Rian spent the night on the observation deck of the Aurora, gazing at the alien fleet in the distance. The ships moved with precision, but he knew their weakness. They relied on patterns, logic, and predictable energy flows. Humanity had learned those rules, and now the humans could plan their next moves with confidence. They believe they are untouchable, Rian whispered. But we are not afraid. Humanity adapts. Humanity survives. And humanity will fight to protect our world. The first full-scale battle had ended, but the war was far from over. Humans had gained experience, knowledge, and confidence. The aliens had learned not to underestimate their opponent. Commander Rian knew the next encounters would be even more dangerous, but humanity had shown that courage, intelligence, and teamwork could level the playing field. Humanity was no longer just defending. They were learning to challenge the impossible. Each small victory, each successful strike, and each clever tactic strengthened their position. The universe had underestimated humans, and it would soon learn that determination, adaptability, and courage were forces no technology could fully control. The story of Part 5 ended with hope and determination. Humans had survived their first major war against the alien fleet, and they were ready to continue the fight. Commander Rian and his crew understood that the key to victory lay not in matching raw power, but in using intelligence, creativity, and bravery to outsmart a seemingly unbeatable enemy. Humanity's journey to prove itself in the galaxy had only just begun. Commander Rian stood on the bridge of the Aurora, his eyes scanning the alien fleet. The humans had survived several battles and learned the secrets of their enemies. Now it was time for a decisive strike. The goal was to hit the alien energy network at its core and turn the tide of the war. Every crew member understood the stakes. Success would change the galaxy. Failure could mean the end of humanity. Lieutenant Mara briefed the fleet. The alien energy nodes are connected across multiple ships. If we can disrupt them simultaneously, their entire formation will falter. Timing and precision are critical. Every ship must act as one. Rian nodded. We have trained, we have studied, and we know their patterns. Now we act. Humanity relies on intelligence, courage, and unity. Remember that, and we will succeed. The fleet moved into position. Smaller strike teams approached the outer nodes while the main fleet created a distraction, drawing alien attention away. Pilots executed complex maneuvers, weaving through energy beams and patrols. Engineers adjusted shields and weapons in real time, while scientists monitored the alien energy flow. The first strike hit a large alien ship. Human weapons targeted the node at precisely the right moment. Explosions rippled through the vessel as its energy network faltered. Shields flickered, weapons misfired, and the aliens were forced to respond. The humans' plan was working. Rian gave calm orders. Keep pressure on the outer nodes. Maintain formation and watch for unexpected moves. Humanity survives when we remain disciplined. Lieutenant Mara led a team to another node. They timed their attacks perfectly, overloading the energy circuits. The alien ships nearby lost coordination, moving in confusion. The humans had discovered the power of timing and strategy. Their courage was amplified by knowledge and precision. Inside the Aurora, tension was high but controlled. Every crew member knew that a single mistake could end the mission. Pilots dodged energy pulses with skill. Engineers fine-tuned weapons. And scientists tracked the effects of every strike. Humanity was acting as one organism, each person contributing to the victory. The alien fleet responded with force. Energy beams fired in waves, attempting to regain control. Some human ships were hit, but careful planning allowed them to minimize damage. Rian observed the patterns and adjusted tactics, using every weakness discovered in earlier missions. The aliens had power, but they had limits, and humans were exploiting them fully. Lieutenant Mara reported success. The outer nodes are down. The main network is destabilized. Their ships are struggling to communicate and coordinate. Rian's eyes glimmered with determination. Now we strike the core. This is our moment. Humanity acts together, and nothing can stop us. A small strike team, led by Rian himself, moved toward the central node. The alien core was massive and heavily guarded, but humans relied on intelligence and courage rather than sheer force. Every movement was precise. Every calculation measured. The strike team dodged energy pulses and avoided patrols. Reaching the heart of the alien network, weapons fired at exact intervals, targeting the weak points discovered on the previous missions. Explosions rocked the alien vessel and energy. Flows became chaotic. The shields that once seemed invincible flickered and failed in sequence. The aliens' formation collapsed under the coordinated human attack. From the bridge of the Aurora, Rian watched the alien fleet falter. Ships collided, energy beams misfired, and the so-called gods were forced into retreat. Humans had used intelligence, courage, and unity to challenge a seemingly unbeatable enemy. The battle ended with the aliens withdrawing, humiliated but alive. Humanity had achieved a victory that would be remembered for generations. Commander Rian and his crew had proven that power alone did not guarantee dominance. Strategy, courage, and teamwork could overcome even the most advanced technology in the universe. On Earth, celebrations erupted. People cheered for the bravery of the fleet, the skill of the pilots, and the intelligence of the scientists and engineers. Humanity had learned a valuable lesson. Fear could be overcome, and even the strongest opponents could be challenged with determination and cleverness. Rian spent a quiet moment on the observation deck of the Aurora, looking at the retreating alien ships. He thought of the crew, the people on Earth, and the strength of the human spirit. They believe themselves invincible, he whispered. But humans are not weak. We think, we adapt, and we fight. We are capable of protecting our world, and more. The victory had come at a cost, but the knowledge gained and the morale boost were priceless. Humanity had discovered that even gods had limits, and that courage, intelligence, and unity were weapons stronger than any energy beam or shield dot. As night fell on Earth, people looked up at the stars with renewed hope. The alien fleet had been challenged and forced to retreat. Humans had survived, adapted, and learned to fight back. Commander Rian and his crew knew that the war was not over, but they had proven that humanity could face impossible odds and emerge victorious. The story of Part 6 ended with triumph and reflection. Humanity had exposed the true power of the aliens and had shown the universe that humans were not helpless. Commander Rian knew the final battles would test them further, but the human spirit had proven itself strong, intelligent, and courageous. The war had shifted, and now humanity was no longer just a defender. They were a force to be reckoned with. The alien fleet had retreated, leaving behind wreckage and shattered energy networks. Commander Rian stood on the bridge of the Aurora, gazing at the distant remnants of the battle. The war had been long and dangerous, but humanity had survived. The people of Earth had witnessed something remarkable. Humans had challenged what others called gods and had come out alive, wiser and stronger. Lieutenant Mara joined him on the observation deck. "They underestimated us," she said quietly. "They believed raw power was enough. They did not see the strength in intelligence, courage, and teamwork." Rian nodded. They were wrong. Humanity has shown them that power alone does not rule the universe. Creativity, adaptability, and determination can change the outcome of any battle. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted. Cities glowed with lights, people cheered in streets, and leaders addressed their citizens with gratitude and hope. Scientists and engineers were praised for their discoveries, pilots for their skill, and soldiers for their bravery. Humanity had united as one force, proving that fear could be overcome when people acted together. The Aurora returned to Earth orbit, carrying its crew home. Everyone on board felt a mixture of exhaustion and pride. The battles had tested them, pushed them to their limits, and forced them to think in ways they had never imagined. Yet they had succeeded, and they had learned that unity and courage were humanity's true weapons. Rian called a meeting with his officers to discuss the future. "The aliens have retreated," he said, "but we cannot assume peace will last forever. We have gained knowledge, technology, and experience that must be used wisely. Earth is stronger now, and we must prepare for any challenge ahead." Mara looked at the holographic maps, showing the positions of the remaining alien ships. "We know their strengths and weaknesses now. We can defend ourselves and even explore new opportunities in the galaxy." Humanity has grown through this struggle. The war had changed more than strategy and technology. It had changed the way humans saw themselves. For the first time, they realized that they were not weak or small compared to other beings in the universe. Humans could think, adapt, and act boldly. Humanity had survived against impossible odds and emerged victorious. Commander Rian walked through the halls of the Aurora, greeting his crew. Each person had contributed to the victory, and he made sure they knew it. Engineers who had studied alien technology, pilots who had dodged deadly energy beams, and scientists who had decoded the alien systems all had played a crucial role. Humanity's strength was in every individual, and in the unity of the whole dot as the ship docked. Rian looked down at Earth. The blue planet was beautiful, vibrant, and alive. People on the surface had watched the stars and hoped for survival, and now they could breathe easier. Humanity had faced what seemed unbeatable, and had proven that courage, intelligence, and teamwork could prevail. The alien threat had revealed something important. Humans were not defined by fear or weakness. They were defined by their ability to learn, to act, and to overcome. The battles had tested them, but the lessons would last forever. Earth was no longer just a planet to be protected. Humanity had discovered its place in the universe and the power of its own spirit. Rian stood one last time on the observation deck as the sun rose over Earth. The alien ships were distant, their shadows fading. Humanity had survived, and they had grown stronger. "They called themselves gods," he whispered, "but they were not. We have proven that humans are capable, clever, and brave. We can survive anything, and we will continue to grow." The crew of the Aurora celebrated quietly, knowing that their work had changed history. Humanity had faced a seemingly impossible enemy, and had not only survived, but had gained confidence, knowledge, and unity. The universe was vast and full of dangers, but humanity was no longer afraid. In the following weeks, scientists studied alien technology, pilots trained in new tactics, and engineers built stronger ships. The lessons of the war became the foundation for a new era. Humanity had learned that even the greatest power could be challenged with intelligence, courage, and cooperation. Commander Rian and his crew knew that the future would hold new challenges. But now, they were ready. Humans had faced impossible odds, adapted, and survived. They had turned fear into action and weakness into strength. The story of Earth and the Aurora would inspire generations to come, a reminder that humanity could rise against any challenge. The war had ended, but the spirit of humanity had grown stronger than ever. The so-called gods had been exposed, and humans had proven themselves. They were no longer simply inhabitants of a small planet. They were a force capable of facing the universe with courage, intelligence, and unity. As Rian looked at the stars, he smiled. Humanity had survived, and it had flourished. They had learned that no power could overcome determination, no technology could match creativity, and no enemy could break the human spirit. Earth was safe, for now, and humanity's journey among the stars was just beginning. The story of humanity's courage, intelligence, and unity ended with hope, pride, and the knowledge that humans could face any challenge. They had fought, they had learned, and they had grown. Commander Rian knew that whatever the universe held next, humanity would be ready.